We're going to do a quick review of equations with variables on both sides, especially since yesterday's lesson was so tricky. We're just going to kind of go through one of each type of question, and then I will attach a gallery walk for you guys to try some examples on your own. And I'll also post the answers so you guys can kind of check and see how you're doing. All right, so let's start with problem number 1. Okay, so this is again a review from yesterday. If the coefficients are the same and the constants are the same, what kind of answer do we get? And again, eventually, the more and more you do this, you won't even have to solve these problems. But let's say you forget, you don't remember the rules from yesterday. So when in doubt, let's just go ahead and solve it. Remember, we always want our variables to be on the left side. So this 6x is in the wrong spot. I want to move it over. So I'm going to subtract it from both sides. All right, and I get it canceled out on the right side, which is what I want. And on the left side, if you notice, I also have 6x minus 6x. So it also cancels out on the left side. Anytime they cancel out on both sides, we have a special equation. In other words, it's going to be IMS or no solution. And it all depends on your constants. So let's bring your constants down. We have -2 equals -2. All right, so I think you guys all would agree that -2 does equal -2. So in the end, if you're left with a true statement, our answer is not -2. Our answer is infinitely many solutions. And again, what that means is that you could put in any number for x, and this would be true. So for example, if I put in the number 1 for x, like this, I think you guys all would agree that the two sides would be equal. So 1 is a solution. I could change that 1 to a 100. And again, the two sides are going to be equal. So 100 is also a solution. I could even add in a negative to both sides of -100. Again, it would be a solution. So there are so many solutions that I can't name them all because I'd be naming them forever, because every number you think of would be a solution. And so that's why we say there are infinitely many solutions. Okay, so the second one, here we have coefficients are the same, but this time the constants are different. Okay, so let's look at a problem that looks like this. Again, if you're never sure, if you don't remember the rules, go ahead and kind of solve it. So we have same coefficients, but different constants. Okay, so I want my x's on the left, so this one on the right here has got to go. So switch the side, switch the sign. Okay, so that cancels out on the right side, and guess what? It cancels out on the left side. Again, we have another special equation. So in other words, there's not going to be one answer. It's either going to be IMS or no solutions. This time, if I bring down my constants, I have 2 and I have a -2. Well, 2 definitely does not equal -2. So our answer is going to be no solution. And remember, that is the symbol for no solution right there. So you can shorten it and you don't have to write no solution. And so no solution means, again, is that there is no number that you can plug into this equation that would make this work. So there are no possible answers. Okay, let's do one more. This time we have the coefficients are different and the constants are different. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. When in doubt, we're just going to try to solve it. Okay, so I want the variables on this side. This 4x has got to go. So I'm going to subtract it. Remember, switch the side, switch the sign. Okay, that cancels out your 4x, and we have 2x's plus 2 equals -2. And now we've got our two-step equation. There's the happy couple. Oh, so sweet. And then we're going to get rid of the outsider here by subtracting 2, which cancels out. And be careful, over here this does not cancel out. That's a -4. And always our last step is to divide by that coefficient on these. And we get an answer of x equals -2 as our final answer. So notice, when I subtracted 4x, This time my variables did not cancel out. This is not a special equation. Sorry, not special. So in other words, there is going to be one solution, and that one solution is x equals -2. Okay, so let's try one last one. And this is the one we didn't really talk about yesterday a whole lot, and it confuses some people, so I'm going to throw this one in here. So this time our coefficients, so 6x and 4x here, are different, but notice the constants are the same. Okay, so we have a +2 and a +2 on both sides. Let's see what happens in this. Again, this is a problem that throws a lot of people off. Okay, so we want our variables to be on the left. I'm going to move this 4x over to the other side. So again, switch the side, switch the sign. Very similar to the last problem. Oops. Should have been 4x. All right, when we subtract that 4x, it cancels out on this side, but it does not cancel out on this side. So it's not special. In other words, we are going to have one solution on this problem, and we have to figure out what is that one solution. Okay, so I'm going to bring down my constants on both sides. They're both 2's. All right, so if I'm solving this two-step equation, there's my happy couple. I'm going to get rid of my outsider, the +2 with a -2. So that gives me 2x, and this is sometimes where people think the answer is no solution, because they think, oh, 2 minus 2 cancels out. Well, it does, but 2 minus 2 is 0. The only time we just say it cancels out and it's gone is when we have no x's. So in other words, we don't want 0 x's, but we do like the number 0 as a constant. That's okay. So if we did our last step here, we would divide by 2 to get our one solution, and that one solution is 0. X equals 0. Okay, so that was a quick recap of the last 4, or kind of yesterday. And so go ahead, and I'm going to post 10 questions that I used as a gallery walk. Go ahead and try these 10 questions, and then also check them with the answer key. All right, see you guys.